For 70 years, one woman reigned over an empire, not by shouting, not by scandal, not by constant presence, but by silence. Queen Elizabeth II was not the richest, not the most flamboyant, not the most outspoken. Yet she endured longer than anyone, outlasting wars, divorces, crises, and generations of shifting culture. Her greatest weapon was not a sword, not a speech, not a spectacle. It was restraint. Here is the paradox. In an age addicted to visibility, silence became her sharpest form of visibility. Politicians argued, celebrities overshared, monarchs in history had crumbled under controversy. She survived them all because she refused to give away what was most precious, her mystery. Silence turned her into a mirror. People saw in her what they needed: stability, dignity, even nostalgia. When you say less, others project more. That is the alchemy of power. From her coronation in 1953 to her final days, her presence was carefully curated. She rarely gave interviews. She almost never revealed emotion in public. She showed up with precision, ceremonies, addresses, small gestures, but she never surrendered her private self. Even her closest aides said they never fully knew her thoughts. That discipline was not coldness. It was design. It allowed her to be an institution, not a personality. Lesson 1. Silence creates gravity. In a room full of noise, the person who speaks last speaks loudest. Elizabeth understood that when you do not rush to comment, your eventual words carry the weight of inevitability. She spoke rarely, but when she did, whether at Christmas addresses or moments of crisis, millions leaned in. Scarcity created reverence. Lesson 2. Neutrality is a crown. While politicians burned in the fire of opinion, she remained above it. She did not choose sides. She did not argue. By refusing to enter the mud, she became the figure everyone could lean on, regardless of allegiance. This is the secret. Neutrality is not weakness. It is elevation. A woman who does not fight every battle becomes the ground everyone fights on. Lesson 3. Ritual replaces noise. Where others speak to prove relevance, Elizabeth let ritual prove hers. The wave, the ceremonies, the uniforms. Predictable, but powerful. Ritual is repetition elevated into reverence. She didn't need to trend. She needed to endure. And ritual was her anchor. Lesson 4. Emotion under control. The world speculated endlessly. Did she approve of Diana? Did she disapprove of Meghan? Did she feel grief, pride, anger? We never knew. And that is the point. By controlling her face, her gestures, her words, she refused to be consumed. The less she revealed, the more the world speculated. And speculation is stronger than confession. Once you explain yourself, the mystery is gone. She never explained. Think of the crises she survived, scandals in her family, attacks on the monarchy, even the death of Diana that provoked public anger. Each time, she held her silence until it became unbearable, and then, with a short address, a gesture, a carefully chosen phrase, she reset the narrative. This is timing. Too early, and you look reactive. Too late, and you look irrelevant. The mastery is waiting until your silence becomes deafening, then breaking it just enough to remind the world who holds the crown. Her silence was not absence. It was presence weaponized. In a world where everyone else was scrambling for attention, she knew her attention was the commodity, and she rationed it so carefully that each glimpse, each word, became priceless. That is why she endured, not because she dazzled, because she restrained. Now let's turn her silence into strategy for your own life. First, stop explaining yourself. Every time you defend, you dilute. People respect what they cannot fully access. You owe no one your justifications. Speak less, act more. Let the outcome be your response. Second, master timing. Do not rush into every conflict, every conversation, every rumor. Let silence work for you. Wait. Allow others to reveal themselves. Then intervene when the silence is at its most powerful, when your words will land like verdicts, not chatter. Third, build rituals. Rituals anchor identity. It could be how you enter a room, how you dress, how you sign your emails. Small repetitions become symbols. Symbols create familiarity. Familiarity becomes authority. Elizabeth's wave, her hats, her pearls. Small, predictable, unforgettable. Create your own version. Fourth, practice neutrality. Not every fight deserves your presence. A woman who wades into every argument becomes common. A woman who withholds becomes mythic. Detach from the need to correct. Your silence will make people wonder. Wondering is more powerful than arguing. Fifth, discipline your emotions. You can feel deeply, but reveal selectively. Elizabeth smiled, nodded, kept composure even in chaos. That restraint turned her into a fortress. Practice controlling your face, your tone, your words. When people cannot read you, they cannot manipulate you. Sixth, remember scarcity. Flooding the market with yourself, constant posts, endless access, cheapens you. Appear less, but with more weight each time. Let people wait for you. Waiting multiplies desire. Seventh, separate the personal from the persona. Elizabeth's genius was this. The woman remained hidden so the crown could endure. You do not need to expose your private life to maintain relevance. Guard your sanctuary. Show only what strengthens your image. The rest belongs to you alone. And finally, the paradox of silence. The less you give, the more they need you. The Queen's silence became louder than speeches. Her restraint outlasted scandals. Her composure outshone chaos. Her neutrality outlived opinion. That is the enduring power of feminine restraint. So ask yourself, are you wasting your power by speaking too much, explaining too quickly, appearing too often? Or are you learning to hold back, to let silence build tension, to ration your presence until it feels like royalty? The woman who learns this art becomes untouchable. She becomes not just heard, but revered. Elizabeth II proved that silence can rule longer than speeches, that composure can outlast charisma, and that sometimes the sharpest weapon a woman can wield is not her words, but the choice to withhold them. That is the legacy of a queen, and that is a strategy every woman can use to rule her own world.